showdown tonight between the Cowboys and the Saints, and we're going over that right now on WinDailySports.com. And here with me to preview tonight's game is a guy by the name of Stoby. And my name is John Jansen. Follow me at jjansen34. Follow him at Stoby, STOWEBY. This is all sponsored by the Sharp app. Go to sharp.link, all the ways that you can download the Sharp app, Google Play, Apple App Store. So check it all out. Yeah. Stoby, tonight's game between the Saints and Cowboys. First thing I think immediately that we got to determine on this slate is what do we do with the Saints offense now that Taysom Hill is starting? It's not, I think Taysom Hill, it's going to be chalky, but in your showdown lineup tonight, because we know he runs the ball, and they're going to run a lot with him. But it kind of means to me that, I don't know, how much of this player pool do we have to throw out with the Saints because Taysom Hill is starting and he's not a passing quarterback?
Yeah, you got to throw out a lot. I would not use any more than one running back and one wide receiver. I completely agree because it's so concentrated, I think, in just a couple of areas. Yep, and honestly, it's going to have to be, Mark Ingram. It's not going to be a pass catching back. He's not going to throw to running backs. He proved that when he was quarterback last year with Alvin Kamara on the field.
That's a great right. That's a great thing to bring up. So I think you're right. What do we take from last year with Taysom Hill starting to this year? And to me, that's Alvin Kamara, right? Mm-hmm. Alvin Kamara just didn't work out with Taysom Hill back there, and this could be more of a Mark Ingram running the ball day.
Yeah, and that's wholly what I think it will be. That is the highest likelihood as far as your running backs on the Saints go. They're just gonna run a lot of read option. He's gonna key in on one particular wide receiver, and he'll hit him for a handful of targets, and that's going to be the end of it. I don't see value getting spread out among a lot of the different players on that Saints team.
Yeah, you know what? I like this since we got somebody new to the channel in DFS and need some help. So let's go real quick, just showdown lineup. What is the way that we build showdown lineups? How are we approaching this? A lot of it to me is you need to fit a narrative. How do you think the game is going to go? So let's say I'm taking the Cowboys and I'm taking the over. That means a lot of points. The Cowboys win, which means I probably would go a lot of Dak Prescott or wide receivers. Not saying that's the way we're going here, but I think that's basically the way you should approach a showdown slate. Take a narrative, roll with it, because it's basically a crapshoot anyway in showdown. DFS certainly can find value plays. Everything's, I think, a lot more clear. But in this circumstance, what you're trying to do is find a narrative to build your lineup around.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's the narrative that I'm going for is that honestly, I still think they're going to kind of have kid gloves with Zeke a little bit, and I think they're just going to continue to throw the ball from the Cowboys side.
I think so too. Yeah.
Go ahead, get up big, and let somebody like Tony Pollard run it if they're going to do it like that. And I think kind of who's Marshawn Lattimore going to be on, and that's kind of my question. I think on the Cowboys side, I'm going to go ahead and stick with like CD and then stick with Gallup as far as my two favorite wide receivers for Dallas today.
I like Gallup a lot because I
really like Gallup.
Right. I don't think he's going to get the Marshawn Lattimore matchup. And with Amari Cooper. So Amari Cooper is back, by the way. Let's make that distinction. Amari Cooper is back and playing. But they said he is going to be limited, and he's also going to be – they're going to have to figure out as the game goes along how much they're going to want to use him. How is he physically going to hold up? He's coming back from COVID, hasn't played in about a couple of weeks, missed the last 2 games. So I think that means Michael Gallup is going to get more run here again, and he's probably just going to be the more effective wide receiver, being that he has played, and he was really effective against the Raiders.
Yep, it took a little while, but the things that we talked about with Michael Gallup early on, like
I think
preseason,
I might put Gallup in the captain spot too. I might.
Yeah. I'm thinking about a little bit of a Gallup captain in a few of my lineups. And by the way, yes, I agree. Drop Sony. Yeah, that's just. I know it's not a showdown question, but yeah, drop Sony. Yeah. He's pretty much useless. Now, as far as I think the big thing is.
Distinction. Dan Quinn obviously is going to be the interim coach. No Mike McCarthy on the sideline, but obviously Kellen Moore has been
Yeah, Kellen
calling
Moore.
the plays.
Kellen,
So,
yeah, Kellen Moore's going to be the one calling the shots. I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, if anything, having McCarthy not around will actually make the Cowboys more aggressive because McCarthy is a notoriously conservative head coach, and with him not there to kind of rein Kellen in a little bit, I think we might see a little bit more of an up tempo type of game today.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like I do think we see the Cowboys a little bit spread out, which is why I want to go on a couple of Cowboys pass catchers. I know CeeDee Lamb, like I probably should have him in there, but I want to opt for Gallup and Schultz.
I like Schultz.
Well. Yeah, I think look, tight ends on prime time.
Tight ends and showdown. Tight ends and showdown always works.
Yeah, I love it. So I want to go there, and I don't know. This is where I get a little bit. I don't know what to do with the captain spot for today. Like truly, I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with the captain in this one. If I want to put Gallup or Schultz there, or if I want to put somebody else. The one I've been thinking is maybe a little bit of Mark Ingram, just because it's going to be a little bit cheaper and more flexibility. And with just the way things are, I think Mark Ingram. But I guess what ruins it for me too is Taysom Hill is probably going to get a lot of the goal line carries as well. So Taysom Hill is the one that becomes more effective. So it's a really tough spot for me to figure out what I kind of want to do with the captain spot here.
Yeah, with the captain, I mean, it's going to be mainly chalk Taysom. Everybody kind of knows that's going to be it. I mean, you could always, because I think there's going to be a lot of people gravitating towards Taysom for the main captain for the big chalk.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you'd be okay trying to is Dak Prescott going to be a little bit, I guess, quote unquote sneaky when it's all said and done, because everybody knows that Taysom's going to be starting today. So it might be something.
Right. Could he take the attention away from him? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, Dak's not going to go unused in the captain spot, but I think he's going to end up being a little bit lower than what we're thinking he's going to be, just because of the whole Taysom Hill factor.
Yeah. And so what does it do now for some of these guys down here, which is now a little bit difficult if you put obviously Dak Prescott in the captain spot, which means you have the top player on the entire slate there, which is completely fine with me, by the way, because while they are good, the Saints defense, they have been burned before, and Dallas is primed, I think, and this is where I'm kind of going with the narrative a little bit here. I think Dallas is really primed for a bounce-back big game. They did well against the Raiders passing-wise. It's just they didn't win the game. So I honestly think that it's going to be a Dallas game, and it's going to be Dak Prescott with over 300 yards. So I'm very much in on the Cowboys passing game, but I want to go a little bit different there, and not just with CeeDee Lamb. I think Gallup a big game, and I think Dalton Schultz certainly finds the end zone as well.
Yep, that's good. And the trick I think that is going to probably hinge most everybody's lineups is who's the wide receiver that's going to actually get anything done. Who's going to catch the one score that Taysom Hill might throw in the air today? Yeah. And I think that's everything kind of hinges on that. And Traquan Smith is a little bit too expensive, and I mean, for this particular build, you almost have to go down to somebody like Humphrey. What's his name? Little Jordan Humphrey.
Yeah, Little Jordan Humphrey. Yep.
Somebody like him, and hope that he catches one or two passes and one of them is in the end zone, and you just kind of have to figure it out that way. It's because it's not going to be a back and forth. Taysom's not going to throw it 45 times today. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. No, I don't think so at all. So, yeah, that's why you got to be limited. But if you can, crack the code, basically, and find that one player he is going to catch from, I do like that. What about Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott? I'm honestly opting for way more Pollard than Elliott.
I am, because of the whole, Kellen kind of controlling his own show. I just think Pollard fits that kind of role where he tries to stretch and get everything to the outside and kind of gets utilized in that passing role. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could be completely off my rocker here, and they could go ahead and give Zeke, 22, 23 carries today, but I don't see it. I see this being more of a, Tony Pollard gets a little more usage today, and they take it easy on Zeke for one more week and let him finish getting healed up and give him a long week of recovery. And then he'll be back into the fold 100% come the following Sunday.
Yeah, we got a guy, Antonio, here who does the Showdown article at WinDailySports.com. Go check it out. He has Tony Pollard over Ezekiel Elliott. So that's why it certainly, I guess, not took me back a little, but made it kind of seem like there is a certain way this game is going to go. And I think that is through the passing game. And Tony Pollard, I think I like in that spot. And the few carries he's going to get, I think he's the more explosive back in that backfield. So he's one that could take advantage of some of the limited carries that he's going to get. And yeah, Jeff, this is where that's the interesting gamble in this game is how much do you want to gamble on Taysom Hill making his first start? Because absolutely, and that's why sort of too, Jeff, to your point of rushing touchdowns and Dak Prescott being conservative, take a gamble with Hill. Why I do like that is because we know with Taysom Hill, this is going to be very concentrated on one player or two. Like this is him and somebody else in the backfield and maybe one pass catcher, but I don't even know who I'd go with or it'd even be worth it because Taysom Hill, when they do get in the red zone, is going to be the guy that they try and use most in the red zone and in the goal lines to get those goal line carries. So I'm with you, like Jeff. That's the one thing I've been kind of going back and forth myself. I would absolutely have no problem with this. Like doing exactly this, I would have no problem with that because I think Taysom Hill is basically on offense a one-man show.
Yep, and then you're also leaving Ingram out of this lineup because if Taysom is going to go off and he's going to score multiple running touchdowns, that means that Ingram is getting his touches vultured. Yep,
right. Absolutely. So I think that is also another very good distinction of how to build that kind of lineup. Is there any pass catcher on New Orleans that you would want? Like, is Marquez Callaway the one guy you think scores? Or is it going to be maybe deep down the field to Traquan Smith? Like, how do we kind of approach Taysom Hill as a passer and, some of the things that we did see from him last year? Yeah. We know he has the bigger arm than Trevor Siemian.
And that's what I was...
the downfield game could work.
Yeah, and that's what I was actually getting ready to say. The underneath stuff, like when he is the quarterback, the underneath stuff, like the stuff that Drew Brees used to do, the short passes, the 4-yard little slants to Michael Thomas.
And they were trying to do that with Siemian. Like Siemian.
Yeah, and they were trying to do that with Siemian. Yeah. But none of that stuff exists when it's Taysom Hill because when they're around the goal line, instead of opting to do those short passes, they just opt to run the read option and they get the same yardage out of it. So most of his stuff, he's going to try and push the ball down the field when he does throw it and kind of get deep shots down the seam. So I like the idea of going for kind of more of a deep threat wide receiver for the Saints, somebody that can get down the field a little bit. So who does that leave you? Let me see. Not really. Marquez Callaway and let me see. Lil Jordan Humphrey does get down the field a little bit. So, and that just kind of falls back to me wanting to use him because of his value, because I don't think any particular Saint wide receiver is going to go off. So I'm just going to opt to go for the cheapest one that's going to see some time on the field and maybe get lucky. I don't want to pay
because there could be the chance because Taysom Hill, not I think a high volume accurate quarterback like you just said with Drew Brees, but he has the arm to go deep, and so that if you can find the one guy, and also I do sort of like Nick Vannett because I think it was mentioned here and we talked about it a little bit. Like Taysom Hill does like to go after his tight ends, so I'm all right going with that. But then again, we get into the problem of I don't know how much exposure I want of the Saints offense because I know it's going to be so concentrated in one area. But if they do put up, let's just say, like, if they do win this game and they do end up scoring the most here, 24, 27 points, I don't think they would. This would be a necessarily high-scoring game if the Saints win it. But if they are the top ones in the slate, I think you have to get Taysom Hill, you have to get the tight end right, and you have to probably get one of the pass catchers that is going to catch the very small one. So the hope here is for me that it's Dallas. Things are spread out a little bit more. If they do win this game, it probably means they score a lot of points in it because they are a high-scoring offense. And that would be, to me, the much more comfortable way of betting this game. And not betting, but the much more comfortable way of setting my showdown lineup If it's just Saints, I don't know what to do. I truly do. Because the Saints are already hard to begin with because we don't know, their offense is just a nightmare in terms of their skill players. But then we put in the Taysom Hill factor, and it's just like, all right, well, now we got to figure out how he's going to spread things around because it's mostly just going to go through him.
Yeah, the vast majority of it's going to go through him. He's going to be vulturing a lot of work, and it's just a matter of which one of those long passes down the field is going to connect and is going to be accurate, and which wide receiver is going to bring it in. It's incredibly difficult. If it ends up being like a Saints onslaught showdown winner type of lineup, I'm just honestly probably not going to be winning any money. I'll just be completely honest because I'm not going there. I'm going to have 2 Saints in most of my lineups. I might have one with 3, but the vast majority of it is just it's going to be 4-2 builds with my 4 on the Cowboy side.
Yeah, it's going to be, to me, it's a lot of Cowboys for me today. Like I'm going almost all in with Cowboys because I think they win the game, and they're a 6.5-point favorite for a reason. Now, of course, that can go the other way, but I just think even if they do lose, like I have a feeling the majority of the offense is still going to come from the Cowboys, or at least we could find different areas to be different with them, and still hedge your bet if you think it's going to be Saints. Put Taysom Hill maybe in the captain spot, and then put Mark Ingram in or one of the wide receivers in with him. But I think this is likely the way I'll hedge my bet, is getting the few Saints that I do like in my lineup and then going with straight. I think Traquan Smith is a fine play too. He was certainly a Trevor Siemian favorite, and so I imagine there's going to be some kind of involvement with him with Taysom Hill.
A little bit of layover on that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I just don't know how much. It's just the matter, Siemian, they were letting him throw the ball as many times as he could handle. I just, they're just not going to do that when Taysom gets on. I'm sure there will be a few plays.
Trevor Siemian is going to be in there for a few plays. It's just not enough when it comes to DFS or this showdown slate for me to want to use Trevor Siemian at all. I think if there is going to be scoring from the Saints, it's going to mostly come from Taysom Hill. And Carlos, should I go with Ingram tonight? Have Gibson, Madison, Demonte Williams need 2? I would say no.
No.
Yeah.
You've got plenty of fantastic options on Sunday. Hold tight.
Yep. Yeah, I completely agree. Anything else with this slate? I know we kind of went for it a bit, and I'm not going to lie, this is looking pretty good to me. With Gallup there being our captain and a little bit different. I think I'm going a lot. And look, if you want to try and get CeeDee Lamb in there, perfectly fine. CeeDee Lamb is one of the best wide receivers in the game. Absolutely is one of the top players on this slate. Should be completely fine to put CeeDee Lamb in there. But with the way, I want to try and win this, I want to win it with Michael Gallup being the top receiver for the Cowboys. And with Marshawn Lattimore potentially on CeeDee Lamb for most of this, Michael Gallup could absolutely be the highest scoring wide receiver on the Cowboys.
Yep. And if you wanna go for like a dirt cheap complete punt, and if you're anticipating Amari Cooper not getting his full allotment of plays, like if he is severely limited and they want to, or he may come up and just end up getting, leaving the field early during the game, because he is walking around with this questionable tag. He has been dealing with these injuries. Noah Brown is 600, and because Wilson should not be playing tonight, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So Noah Brown should get plenty of targets. He got peppered with targets, and he's only 600. So if you want to take a shot there, you could do a whole lot worse for 600.
Yeah, which makes me, with again the Amari Cooper being limited and Cedric Wilson out, and Marshawn Lattimore potentially on CeeDee Lamb, like I am all bleeping over Michael Gallup today, and that's where I want to go. So I'm a big Gallup guy. Season-long super flex pick 2. Taysom, Cousins, Cousins and Carr. Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah, Cousins, Carr. Yeah, because
I think it's the safest. Yeah. And look, Carr has a really great matchup, and I forget who Kirk Cousins is playing this week, but I know Carr for sure. That is you're not taking him out. With the way they played against the Cowboys as well, and now they have a really good matchup against Washington, I am all over Derek Carr. And I think if I can get this Minnesota, they're playing the Lions. That would be fun.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know it might be a little bit like of a running game, not need to do much against the Lions, but still That Vikings offense.
They're
does
going
too
to
much.
they'll probably get up big in a hurry, but they're going to get up big because he's thrown a couple of bombs to Thielen and
Right,
Jefferson.
a couple big touchdowns to Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, and everything's good. So, all right, that'll wrap it up, though. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we had a couple new ones, so good to see some new names in there. I appreciate you checking us out. Go to windailysports.com, get a gold membership, and we use the projection model and optimizer when we do this show. And we also use the Showdown article from our guy Antonio. So windailysports.com, check it all out, sign up, and also join the experts chat. So I see my guy Dad with the Sauce here is in there. I haven't seen before, so a couple of names that I haven't seen. So go in there to our expert chat, and we're talking lineups. We're going over, and send your lineup over there. And our expert chats will be going over some of your lineups, messing with things. Especially, there are a couple of questionable tags here that we're going to be checking out right up until lineups lock. So be sure to join that. WinDailySports.com, go to the Academy tab, and then right there on the right side, you'll see the experts chat. So come join us over in Discord, and that is completely free. So you can go check us out. And then if you want, go to windailysports.com, sign up for any membership that you may have. This was all sponsored by the Sharp app. So if you're looking for any bets tonight, sharp.link, Google Play Store, Apple App Store are the apps that you can go to, but sharp.link, everything you need to know about the Sharp app. That is it for us. So we'll be back with more position-by-position preview tomorrow, and also I think some college football Superflex DFS show as well tomorrow. But plenty to go over tomorrow. And also tonight, good luck, everyone, with your NFL Showdown slates. That is it for us here, windailysports.com.
Thirsty Thursday.